information depicted she sees. Then she looks for the most significant trends in the diagram. She writes an overview of the information presented, telling Yo-Ching that this is one of the keys for her high score. This can be included in either the introduction or conclusion, and will usually be a couple of sentences. After noticing points to be highlighted, she thinks about how she would describe them. She considers the grammatical tenses that are relevant. As this graph covers years in the past tense grammar is appropriate to talk about the information. As the graph also has future predictions, she will use future aspects in her writing too. Kai-sheng makes a few notes, planning and organizing her thoughts to arrange her paragraphs effectively before she begins to write her summary. As she continues to write, she separates her paragraphs clearly and uses themes for each paragraph. This allows her to explain her ideas fully. She uses a variety of verbs and adjectives when describing the information in order to show a range of vocabulary. One of her favorite tools is to make notes on a line showing a variety of words to use to describe degrees of change for her essay. Yo-Ching has learned a lot by watching Kai-sheng's process. Yo-Ching practices this process many times for himself. Now Yo-Ching finds himself ready to take the IELTS exam again, this time with confidence in a good process. He has also taken time to watch the British Council's other IELTS writing videos. He retakes the IELTS test and achieves his target score. If you follow the do's and don'ts for the IELTS Task 1 writing, you can increase your chance of a higher score, just like Yo-Ching. The world speaks IELTS.
All right, guys, that was a short video about the IELTS writing task 1 for both for academic and general test. So let's move on to our general test. Just to give me a moment, please. I'm going to find out the task 1. Okay, if you remember, the general task is general test task 1 is mostly letters or applications depending on the topic or content, and we're going to give the practical demonstration today so that you know how to write it. Okay, and before that, once again, the marking criteria are task response 25%, coherence and cohesions 25%, lexical resources 25%, grammatical range and accuracy 25%. Okay. So excuse me. Excuse me. So example, opening paragraph with a clear purpose presented. So as you can see, formal letter. When we don't know the name of the person whom you're writing. So dear sir or madam. Informal, dear John, when you know the person. And also you have to be careful about saluting, or we call it salutation, how you greet the person. And basically that is really important, because that is the first beginning of your letter or application. All right, so right, I'm going to and final part, uh, remember the greeting and closing salutation of IELTS general training. Writing task 1, letter needs to match the style. For example, dear sir, madam, yours faithfully, or faithfully yours. It's truly yours. It is very important to complete this way. If you don't know who you are writing, like we start with dear sir or madam, and you must finish with yours faithfully or faithfully yours, or yours truly or truly yours. Though in modern grammar style they don't use it anymore, they use with kind regards. But if you want to go with the conventional method, you can still use yours faithfully or faithfully yours. And when you do the name, if you remember, dear Mr. Weber, Miss Taylor, we're finishing sincerely yours, or yours sincerely. So what's the difference, guys? The difference is that this is the style of the letter writing or the application writing, where you have to follow the techniques, you have to follow the guidelines, and that is really a virtual factor to get good marks. If you do not follow these guidelines, there is nothing wrong, but you won't get good marks. Remember that in IELTS exam, it's our target to get high score and our desired score, and this is the only way you can get it, when you fulfill the guidelines and criteria. Okay, and when you're writing like your close friend, like dear John, you can write best wishes, or modern English you write with regards or kind regards. When you're writing this close friend, like dear friend Anna, with love, your loving friend, or you can write best wishes. So, what are the bullet points that we have mentioned earlier? Bullet points are those points and features that are asked you in your writing topic. Uh, please make sure when you write a letter as a part of general training task, it is important to include the bullet points presented to you in the question. The question in IELTS training task 1 will present you the situation, who to write the letter to, what you must include in the letter, the bullet points. All the 3 bullet points need to be presented. And remember that some bullet points contain more than one element. So make sure to watch for and plurals. Let's break down the following questions. An overseas friend who wants to visit a country on holiday. Write a letter to a friend. In a letter, recommend the best time of year to visit and why. Describe the types of accommodation your friend could choose. Say what you would like to show your friend in your country. By the idea, Weir's Hello has now 30% offer discount. If you're interested to join any teacher's live stream, including my one, use this code Hello Summer, which is valid up to 4th of July. 30% discount code. So when you're subscribing to any teacher's lesson, you have to just use this code and you will get 30% discount all of the courses. Okay, so let's move on. Remember, when you write a letter, you do not write the address. So start with like this, yeah. Structure of a letter is very important. A greeting, always, or salutation, sometime it is called. Then the main body. However, in the greeting, it may include dear sir, madam, dear John, dear Mr. Smith, or any other salutation that is appropriate. Then the main body, consisting of paragraphs for each part of the letter. A closing, yours sincerely, yours faithfully, best wishes, kind regards, etc. Or love, In the instruction, you're told you do not need to write any address, so do not include them. This is an example of an informal letter, like Dear Andrew. Opening salutation or greeting must be included. For appropriate letter format.
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 Format in British English, remember, we do not pronounce R in British pronunciation, whereas in American pronunciation, format. Remember, that is one of the basic differences of sounds in British English and the American English. It means a pattern, plan, or arrangement. It's noun in this case, but it may be used as a verb as well, which means to organize or arrange text, spatial and computer according to chosen pattern, to prepare a computer disk for use with other type of computer. Like you need to format your computer to get the latest Windows version. So the example shows us pleased to hear that you are going to visit Brisbane. Some writing to give you some information to think about before you come. State the purpose of the letter in the opening paragraph, always. Most people travel to Brisbane in the summer months, but I think it's uncomfortably hot at the time of the year. Autumn is the best season between April and June. Still sunny, but much cooler than in summer. First bullet point presented and highlighted in a separate paragraph. At the moment, all our bedrooms are full, so unfortunately, we can't put you up. How about there are some places to stay, like Airbnbs, suburb. You could also stay in a serviced apartment in the city center or on the Gold Coast. There are lots of special online, so I'm sure you'll find some more affordable. Second bullet point presented and highlighted in separate paragraph. When you get here, the third bullet point, I'll take you to the Lone Pine Koala Sanctuary where you can feed kangaroos and koalas. I can also drive you to the Gold Coast for a swim to add excitement. We can visit the theme parks there too. So when you're writing, you're presenting the points that have been asked you to complete as well as the other part. So remember, it is a customary to say thank you for each and every person, and we can write thank you, though it has started to looking forward to catching up, concluding the rounding letter off. So thank you very much for your patience. Looking forward to catching up. So once again, guys, if you're interested to join this IELTS live class, you're more than welcome. What you have to do is you have to subscribe to the button where it says subscribe, or visit my profile from where you can find the free trial lessons, or use this code Hallo Summer for 30% discount, and it is valid up to 4th of July. Okay, and the last but best wish is closing salutation and your name to make the letter look realistic. Remember to reach higher band score IELTS general training task. A clear purpose, appropriate tone, present and highlight all the bullet points, appropriate form. Again, a clear purpose. Now, British English, we do not pronounce R, so it should be clear purpose.
Purpose.
Purpose. American English,
Purpose.
purpose. Why do something? Why you do something, or why something exists. For example, the purpose of this research is to try to find out more about causes of all the diseases. And appropriate form. I'm sure that you have understood well from the clarifications of this, sample writing. However, let's go on with the real life practice test. This test came in between January to March this year as part of the General Task IELTS exam. I recently saw an advertisement in a newspaper seeking volunteers to do unpaid work with local children. You are interested in this work, write a letter to the head of the organizations. In your letter, express your interest, ask for details of the work and that needs to be done. Let them know when it's available and do not use any address. Okay. It clearly says do not use any address. Remember, the word address is a double syllable, could be noun and verb depending on the tone and the correct stress. So address is noun, but address is verb. I've explained it in many lessons. So you got to be very careful whenever writing your address anywhere without addressing any specific person. All right, let's so it is a job advertisement for volunteers, and as you can see, unpaid job with local children, and you don't know what kind of job it is. I don't know what are the criteria. You don't know what are the working hours. You don't also know that whether there will be paid break or unpaid break, and if the company covers any lunch. So start like this because we are not using address. So dear sir, madam, we don't know the company's MD's name or the human resource people or the personnel. Remember, the people who recruit in a company can be called either human resource or personnel department. I'm writing here. HR. Sometimes they call personnel as well. Remember, personnel, not personal. Personnel. Because you don't need to use address, but just for your information, when you're writing an application or a letter to a company for your job, it must be from the HR personnel, and in modern time there's a recruitment department as well. How about this all are same but in different names? So we start like this: dear sir or madam. This is my style disclaimer. This is how I have written. It's just a simple. If you think it's okay, you can follow. If not, you can write your own way. In response to a recent advertisement of the volunteer jobs, actually not volunteers, from the local newspaper, I'm writing this letter about the position which has been advertised. I've written local newspaper twice. Once again, in response to a recent advertisement of the volunteer jobs from the local newspaper, I'm writing this letter about the position which has been advertised. Uh, so let's move on this local newspaper again. You can say volunteers because in the main letter it says volunteers, seeking volunteers to do unpaid work. Remember, highlight unpaid, volunteer, local children. And that I'm interested to apply for the position, or you can say that or for the same. So now remember, this is a voluntary job, unpaid, and local children. You have to remember that these are very important for you to understand what you're going to write next. And before that, you can always add this thing. I'd like to have a work for working with children. I'd like to have a work experience for working with children. And this advertisement caught my sight. for the possible job volunteering. So look at the sentence pattern. I would like to have a work experience for working with children, and this advertisement caught my sight for the possible volunteering opportunity. So now we have to state the eligibility criteria and the job responsibilities. It is said there, details, ask for details that needs to be done. First bullet part. So, or therefore, I'd like to know what are the eligibility criteria to apply for the position and job responsibilities, or sometimes we call them job description. It's very important for you to know your job description and responsibilities, what you must do while you are on your, you know, duty while at your office. And there is another bullet point. It says, let them know when you're available. Do not use any address. We have not used any address. Express your interest. So I have expressed the interest. I'd like to have a work experience for working with children, and this advertisement caught my sight for the possible volunteering opportunity. Therefore, I'd like to know what are the eligibility criteria to apply for the position and the job responsibilities or job descriptions. So you have made the bullet points. Number one, know your address. You have shown your interest. You have asked the job responsibilities or job description and eligibility criteria. And here is also another opportunity to mention that previously you worked somewhere else in the similar role or a different role. And that is the amazing part, to let the employer know. Please know that I worked in a similar role for another organization for a short time. Advise me what kind of tasks I should be doing, as well inform me how many days of the week I have to be there and what are the working hours of the job. So you're writing those questions as a part of the requirement of this letter. Okay, so bear in mind it's very important for you to fulfill the highlighted points of the bullet points. So please advise what kind of tasks I should be doing, as well inform me how many days of the week I have to be there and what are the working hours for the job. Okay, this is the third criteria. Furthermore, we have used there for furthermore. Advice if I need to maintain any dress code. That's very important, dear viewers, because in some jobs you need to have a dress code, and it is It should be mentioned in your advertisement, though, casual dress or formal dress. Okay, whether jeans is accepted, whether a flip tops are accepted or not. Remember, in office, many offices, uh, many jobs, they allow jeans, but most of the cases they do not allow flip tops, or we call it sandal. All right, then it says, let them know when you're available to interview. Now, the next part is that, which I've written already. If I'm selected for the interview, I'm available to attend any day except Friday during office hours. So, welcome, dear viewers, once again. If you're listening to my conversation or if you're watching this live stream silently, you're more than welcome to join and participate. What you have to do is you have to send a hop on request. You can send it by the following ways. Number one, being a monthly subscriber. Number two, being a eligible to get free lessons. Number three, Hallo has offered 30% discount for all of its courses with the teachers. You have to use this code Hallo Summer while you're subscribing to any teacher. Or lastly is using Hello Cash to hop on straight. If you don't want to subscribe to my lesson, that's okay, but um, you need to use Hello Cash to hop on here, which is $2. Okay, and remember, finishing salutation. Thank you very much. You must always give it thank you to the reader, whether it's his friend or you're applying for a job. um, so thank you very much for your attention and sincere cooperation. And it is a customary to say thanks for each and every official letter, including application or any other kind of communication letter. Thank you very much for your attention and sincere cooperation. And remember, we always write this letter, which is very important. I look forward to hearing from you soon. This is the reason why you're writing, because you have sent them the application or letter. Now we are going to expect a response from them, or a reply, you can say, and informally. So it's better to know at the last sentence, I look forward to hearing from you soon. Okay. Hello, Faisal, welcome. That if you remember, you write this one of the one of these four expressions, yours faithfully, or faithfully yours, or yours truly, or truly yours. Okay. Now, then your name, Jeremy Kyles, so that they know that it's you who has written. Another important matter I have forgotten to inform you. When you're writing a letter at the beginning, you must give the date. Say today's date is 2nd of July 22, and that is very important as a part of your IELTS writing task 1 general test. Now, if you remember that it is important to have 150 words. Do you know how many words are there? You have to write at least 150 words. Oh, let's find out in a moment how many words are there. You'll be glad to know this is 198 words, though some words are repetitive. So, like yours faithfully, faithfully yours. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and also there's for the position, another 2 more, 8, and then HR, personal department, recruit department. This may not be needed. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're removing 15 words and it's becoming roughly now 183 words, which is okay. Remember that word count is very important in general task 1, general test 1, task 1, I mean to say. And similar goes for the academic writing task 1. This is one of the criteria for the IELTS writing to fulfill 150 words. Okay. If you've got any questions or comments, you can write in the comment section, or if you want to hop on, you're more than welcome. Once again, you're watching the live stream from the UK, and our local time is 7:19 a.m. Saturday morning, and I'm discussing IELTS bits and bars and all the information. Though I've got quite a few number of classes all over the week. If you're interested, you can join any lesson. The most of the lessons cover almost all parts of English language learning. Okay, and it doesn't matter which class you are enrolled, but you can eventually learn all these 4 features of English learning. Okay, we've got 11 minutes more, and remember when you're writing to have spelling check. Number 1, grammar accuracy, grammatical accuracy, I should say, and wide ranges of grammar. Though in task 1, sometimes it is not possible to use wide ranges of grammar, but it's better to use wherever possible. And linking word like thank you, therefore, furthermore, additionally, etc. And using correct form of tense, which is very important. Remember that, guys. Using correct form of tense is one of the amazing criteria in IELTS exam to get good or more marks. People who do not use grammar and people who use grammar, the people who use grammar was very important in IELTS exam. Okay. If you've got any other questions or comments, I'll be happy to answer it. So there are many tasks out there, like a friend you made while you were studying abroad has written to ask you for help in finding a job in your country. You have heard about a job in a local company that might be suitable for him or her. Write a letter to this friend. In a letter, you tell your friend about the job and what sort of work it involves. So why you think the job would be suitable for him or her. Explain how to apply for the job. You have to write. Minimum 150 hours. Okay. Now, once again, make sure you count the words and make sure you follow the procedures: formal English, tone, salutation, and fulfill the bullet points. These are the 3 bullet points. Okay. And it's very important for being an IELTS candidate to know how to write good English. If you don't know how to write good English, I'll suggest you start writing today and get it checked by a competent and qualified teacher who can help you. Because very often I get this question from many students: the teacher, I don't know whether my writings are correct or not, whether there is any grammatical error or vocab error. So, okay, and let me see if there is anything. Okay, there are many homeworks are here. So if you like to participate, you can always have the opportunity to send this type of writing to me, which I take, assess, and give the feedback to my students. And uh, amazingly, all of my successful rates for IELTS candidates is quite high, I should say. Many of my international students got very good scores in IELTS exam, and the highest score was 8.5 out of 9, and the lowest was 6. Once again, please remember that IELTS exam is nothing but knowing English as well as the rubrics, those bits and bytes information which might be helpful for you to obtain your required score or desired score. And as you might be aware that in many Western countries or English-speaking countries, their demand is high that a candidate must have good result, academic result, as well as good band score in IELTS exam. And someone asked me last week, um, and the question was, teacher, I don't know how to even develop a single sentence, though I know how to speak well. And I explained to the person that it's the same thing, whatever is speaking, you just write it down accurately. Follow these guidelines of IELTS, writing task 1 of general test or academic, whatever. Um, Follow the instructions. Understanding a question in IELTS exam very important. Do not rush. If you have listened to the video at the beginning of this class I showed, it says Do not rush. First, try to understand your topic. Do not use too many linking words which are not important, which are not required. Then uh, just compare or write those 3 or 4 important features that you have been asked in the question. And also, when you're writing task 1 or task 2, you need to paraphrase the words, or you need to use synonyms many cases. Okay, and that's very important. All right, guys, thank you very much for your time, and remember to follow me, support me, and wherever possible you can subscribe to my lesson. And as you can see that Hallo has offered 30% discount, Hallo Summer, the code. Try to use it when you are subscribing to all of my lessons or any other teacher's lessons. It is valid up to 4th of July, which is the American Independence Day. And it should be ending 5 p.m. US time. So once again, guys, um, thank you very much for watching and joining me. I'll see you later. You take care and bye. Before I finish, I forgot to tell you, remember to practice whatever you have learned from anyone. It doesn't matter the person is a teacher or a student, because on this app there are many amazing students who conduct good live streams, standard live streams. As long as you can learn from them or from my class, practice it, apply it. Uh, Bear in mind that without practicing or applying, it is much likely that you're going to forget at the end of the day. Okay, we don't want you to forget. When you go to school, when you used to go to school or college or universities, remember that we took notes from the teachers' classes and lessons. Maintain a notebook so that you can keep all of your notes. You can write all the important information so that you don't forget. I always maintain a notebook, guys. It could be an electronic notebook, digital notebook, or paper notebook, because I know that I'm forgetful. So it may happen to you as well. All right. Thank you very much, guys, once again for being here. You guys are amazing. Thank you. I'll see you later. You take care and bye.